Hi, I'm Michael Anthony, author of The Mental Keys to Improve Your Golf. You can get a copy of my book by going to Amazon or go to my website, mentalkeys.com. Today's video is going to be on remove all negative thoughts. And as I mentioned before in my other videos, the Mental Keys is an awareness program. And the goal of the mental game is to create a mental state that will optimize the chemistry of your brain so you can play in the zone at your highest level of mechanical proficiency. Now, when you go to remove all negative thoughts, you have to understand why. Why is it important to remove negative thoughts? Well, as I mentioned before, first off, all your thoughts and emotions, they affect the chemistry of your brain, which affects your performance. So if you're a golfer, you want to optimize the chemistry of your brain so you can perform at a much higher level. And then the other reason is that you'll never ever be able to play in the zone on instinct if you have negative thoughts. It's just a given. So in essence, when you're negative, you lower your chemistry, take away from your ability to perform. That's why you want to do your best to remove all of your negative thoughts. Now, why do your thoughts repeat? Why do you keep having negative thoughts? As I mentioned in the previous video, your greatest opponent, your tape. Your brain records everything that you experienced during your entire life. And it's programmed, we call it your tape. It's programmed to repeat what you've done in the past. Now, when a golf architect designs a golf course, he has different things at his disposal to make life miserable for you on the golf course. Hopefully he can have a course that has water on it, then he'll look for trees, then if not trees, he'll put bunkers in there, he'll make the rough really bad for you, and then when you finally get on the green, he'll make the slope of the green enough to drive you crazy. So this is what you're up against. Well, when you played around the golf in the past, when you ran across these facts, if you've attached a negative emotion to these facts, in the future, the next time you run across water, a lake, a rough or trees, you're going to recall what happened in the past. And if you ever had a negative experience, it's going to be on the tape. And so your tape automatically is going to recall that past experience. And so if you react to that fact with a negative emotion, you lower your chemistry, take away from your ability to perform. Now, once you're aware of this, that is like seeing the emperor with no clothes. It reduces a lot of the power that these facts have about creating negative emotions. Now, there's 3 steps you can take to remove negative thoughts and emotions. The first step is to cancel them. The second step is to release them. And the third step is to refocus from a negative to a positive. Let's go through them one at a time. If you're sitting there and you're all set to putt, and then you say, well, don't leave it short, it's a negative thought. Or if you're all set to tee off and there's a lake there and you say, don't hit it into the water. Or if there's trees and you say, oh, don't hit it into the trees, don't hit it into the rough. That's only because it happened in the past and your tape brings it back up. So whenever that happens, merely just say, cancel tape, I don't want that thought. The more you work at this program, the easier it becomes to cancel your thoughts. I've been working at this for many, many years. I still have negative thoughts, pink elephants that jump out of the blue from behind trees or wherever they come from. When they do, as soon as I recognize it, I smile and I say, cancel that thought, tape. I don't want that thought. And normally it just goes away. Of course, I've been working at this for a long period of time. Now, you may have to go into step number 2 if they don't go away, if they hang around. And you have to learn how to release the negative emotion to that fact. If every time you see water, you start thinking about, oh, I'm going to hit it into the water, I have fear, or hitting it into the trees or the rough, whatever that emotion that you've attached to those particular facts when you're playing around the golf, you have to realize if you keep dwelling on it as being a negative, it's going to lower your chemistry, take away from your ability to perform. So what you have to do, you have to release it. It's like, how do you release a negative thought? Once you acknowledge it, okay, I have fear about hitting it into the water, or I get angry when I make a bad shot, you just look at that fact, you talk to your tape and say, tape, I don't want to have that thought anymore. I'm going to release it. You just let it go. You can also take a deep breath and exhale. Go. And when you calm down, you tell your tape, next time I see a tree or a bunker or a tree or water, whatever it is, I'm going to release that negative emotion. So you kind of made it neutral. Now the next thing you want to do, you want to refocus from the negative into being positive. And I call that being always going around with a glass that's always half full. Never play golf with a glass that's half empty, instead focusing on the negatives. No, focus on the positive. Yes, if everything goes right, I can make this particular shot. I don't want you to go around lying to yourself, because the odds are even the best golfers, to hit it down the fairway, if you can do it 80% of the time, you're in the top field. Now, if you can't break 100, maybe if you can hit the fairway 50% of the time, you feel you're doing pretty good. So whatever the probability of success or probability of failure is, you take a look at it and you say, okay, I can hit it on the fairway 80% of the time. 20% of the time, it's not going to happen. Same thing with a golfer that can't, break 100. I can hit their fairway 50% of the time. The other 50%, I'm not going to worry about. Or hitting it across water, or whatever the situation is, you assess what's your percentage of making it, what is the percentage of not making it, and then say, okay, I'm not going to worry about not making it, because that's going to lower my chemistry, take away from my probability of making it. So I'm going to put all my energy into focusing on my glass is half full. I can make this shot 50% of the time. I can make this shot 80% of the time. That's what I'm going to focus on. If everything goes right, I can make this shot. That will raise your chemistry. So again, to get rid of your negative thoughts, first off, just cancel them. Get rid of them. After a while, you'll get really good. They'll run away. Then you just go back to focus on the positive, that you can make the particular shot. And if they keep hanging around, work on releasing them by taking deep breaths, just talking to your tape and say, tape, I no longer want to have a negative emotion attached to this particular fact. I'm going to refocus on the positive. My glass is half full. I can make this shot X amount of times, and that's what I'm going to do. For example, if you can only make this hit the fairway 50% of the time, by focusing on hitting it 50% of the time, if everything goes right, you raise your chemistry, you probably increase your probability to 60% of the time of making it. Conversely, if you say, oh my God, I can only make it, I'm going to miss it half the time, if you focus on that, you're going to lower your chemistry. You probably won't even hit it 40% of the time. So by controlling your emotions, by removing all negative thoughts, you're going to increase your chemistry, increase your probability of success. I have other routines that I use. I have a 4-step routine which allows you to play golf one shot at a time, and I also have a thing called Trusting Your Triangle that makes it easier, to stay in the present, to remove your negative thoughts while you're playing. So if you do the three steps over and over, they will become instinctive. They will become a particular habit, and anytime you catch yourself being negative, cancel that negative thought. Tell it to go away, then refocus on the positive, that your glass is half full. I can make this shot if everything goes right, and expect everything to go right. If you do, it will improve your performance and lower your score. If you want more information how to go about doing this, read my book, The Mental Keys to Improve Your Golf. And a quick way to do this is, while you're driving to and from the golf course, listen to my CD, Using the Mental Keys to Polish the Wheel. Well, that's it for today. All I can say is thank you for listening, and play well. And don't forget to tell your friends and tell your golf instructor about the mental keys. Thank you, and have a great day.